Well, good evening, folks. This is Steve Tucker. We are here live for the Harpoon Design Truck Series for the championship race here from Auto Club. Man, oh man, oh man. A long season, 20 races. We have gone this far, and finally we are here today for the championship race. Going to be a lot of fun, man. Hey, Mark Whitley, Joseph Mealy, Nick Lights, and John Wright. 4 guys all going for that championship. So coveted. Our second championship in our history. Going to be an amazing time. We're going to talk to all 4 drivers before they go to qualify and they go into this race, man. Going to be such a good time. Right now, we're going to bring in a couple of different guys. We'll bring in, we're going to just kind of get right into things, man. We've got a championship to decide today. We have a contender playoffs to decide today. We'll talk more about that in a bit. And going to be a lot of fun. So real quick, let's bring in our good buddy, Frankie. Frankie, bro, so we're going to pull you in first real quick. Hey, man, I know the 4 drivers are waiting, hesitating, just a lot of nerves maybe. What's the vibe right now?
Right now, and honestly, they're all goofing off, having a good time, just soaking in the experience here, and just trying to get themselves in the right mindset, just doing what they've been doing all year long, and just trying to execute for one final race.
Love that, man. Hey, it's gonna be a good time. Championship 4 obviously on the line, a big championship, the second season right here, and man, it's gonna be a good time. Who do you want to bring in first? Let's talk to him. Let's get him in here.
Ooh, I'd say let's start off with Jonathan Wright. Let's start off with him.
Love to see it. Hey, Jonathan Wright, man, to Steve and Frank in the booth. You got me?
Hey, buddy. Hey, I got you.
Hey, dude, it's gonna be a good time today. Obviously, a lot of nerves. Championship on the line. What's the thought process? How do you win? How do you get it done?
Well, considering nobody expects me to win and or even come close to winning, I don't really have a whole lot of pressure. So I'm just gonna go lay the thing on the floor and see what happens.
I mean, I think that's really the keys to your success, right? I mean, so far, this entire playoffs, you've kind of snuck under the radar. I mean, you got that one win, but, I mean, man, like, ever since then, it's kind of like, hey, John Wright's here, he's kind of progressing, and then all of a sudden, hey, here he is in the Championship 4 for Auto Club, and you've kind of snuck your way this entire way. Honestly, man, I think you're not only the underdog as far as the popular opinion, but I think you've got what it takes to get it done, because I like what position you're in. You're in the 4th position, kind of, people would say, right? But you can just drive your ass off and not really hold back. What do you say to that?
And I'm not really gonna hold back. I'm just gonna drive as hard as I can, and if they screw around and forget about me, then that's where they'll make a mistake, and I'll be right there to capitalize on it, and I'll win this thing if they're not careful.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, I'm pumped to see you go out there, man, get your second win, and maybe, hey, but it's the championship. So, going to be a good time, man. Good luck tonight, and we'll see you on the track.
All right, thanks, buddy.
All right, John Wright, Frankie. I'm telling you what, something about him tells me that he could make a run for this thing right now.
Yeah, he's got that Matt Smith season 1 feel to him. Just been going underneath the radar. Yeah, I know it's not a good memories for me personally, but I will tell you what, I like his attitude. He's got absolutely nothing to lose. He's going to take every single risk there is, and if it pays off, he might be our big winner tonight.
It's a good point. Right now, Frankie, let's bring in our good buddy, Joseph Mealy. Hey, Joseph, Steve, and Frank in the booth, man. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, dude. Well, hey, honestly, have had a really good season so far. I mean, tonight, Auto Club, going to be a lot on the line. Championship, obviously, your good friend Nick Lights got the championship done in season 1. I mean, what's it going to take, man, to one, hold him back from going back to back, but then 2, I mean, making this your own?
That's a good question. I think everybody knows how it's going to play out. You're going to have Whitley and Lights up there, probably me in 3rd. It's just about running my own race, not getting my own head. That's pretty much it. I know what it takes to win. I've been in this situation before, and I'm ready to go do it. So that's about all I have to say.
Love that, dude. Gonna be a good time. Sun's going down, but the heat is turning up. So gonna be a good time, man. We'll see you on track. Good luck the rest of the way, and we'll see you at the end of this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll say this: if I can't win it, I sure as hell want Nick Lights to win it. So that's we got a 50% chance here tonight.
Sounds good. All right, man. We'll catch you.
All right, thanks.
All right, let's bring in Nick Lights, defending Truck Series winner. Whoops. What happened here? Here we go. Hey, Nick Lights, Steve here in the booth. You got me?
Hey, Steve, I got you.
Hey, man. Listen, a lot on the line tonight. Going for back-to-back championships in the Harpoon Design Truck Series. What's it going to take, man? Looking pretty good out there. A lot of wins this season, but a lot on the line. How do you do it?
Yeah, staying up front most of the race, controlling the race, I think. I've been in this spot before, so I think we can capitalize on it. If not, it's been a fun season. The last season so far that I know of. Hopefully we can continue this, but yeah, it's been fun. If we can get it, we can get it. If not, then congrats to whoever does.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, good job on the just getting here, first of all. But hey, good luck tonight. Going to be a hard time. We tell Joseph, hey, sun's going down, but he's going to rise, man. So hope to see you.
Well, I don't know, though. It's Joseph. He's my teammate and all that. No.
Yes.
I mean,
All right.
It'll be a fun race for sure.
Yes, sir. Going to be a good time. Well, hey, good luck out there. We'll catch you on track.
Thank you. I love you.
All right. Alrighty. That's a reminder. I'm gonna. There we go. Do that. All right. Let's bring in our good buddy. Hey, Mark Whitley. Man, you got me in the booth, Frankie and I. Hey, dude. It's gonna be. Listen. I mean, obviously, a lot of wins this season, and Auto Club, man. Sun's going down. Championship race. How do you get it done tonight?
Stay up front, and hopefully the draft doesn't absolutely murder any chance you got. It's very draft dependent, and it's going to be a matter of minimizing mistakes and capitalizing on others. One race decides it all, so it's going to be about making no mistakes. Hopefully others make mistakes, and if not, just go out there and outdrive them. I mean, it's simple as that.
I mean, you mentioned it, draft dependent track. How do you get to the front? Nick talked about staying up front and controlling the pack. How do you do that here, and how is this track going to be affected by the nighttime?
It'll probably get tighter, a little bit more grippy, more tightness, especially in the draft. You'll start getting aero tight. So I would imagine it's going to be about, maybe trying to save the tires a little bit first couple laps of the run, and hopefully you're already at the front. You don't have to work it all the way through the field, because that's going to just eat your stuff up. And, we're not going to get, reduced fuel, so we're not going to get like a super long run. We're probably only going to get 15, 20 laps on a tank of gas. So can't go ultra save, because then by the time you actually start making a difference, it'll be time to pit anyway. So it's just going to be kind of a balancing act. Cautiously aggressive, I guess, if there's a thing.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, hey, man, obviously a great season so far. Really just, hopefully tonight it could be your night, man. You've had the wins, you've had the luck and the skill to be up front. So good luck getting it done. And hey, we'll see you on track, man.
All right, sounds good.
All right, Frankie. Well, hey, that was Mark Whitley. So, hey, listen, that's our championship 4. What's it going to take to get this done? I think you named it right. I think Mark Whitley is the quote unquote favorite just because of his season so far. But really, Nick Lights, you can't back down from him. He's he's season 1 champion. Joseph Maley, he's got what it takes to win easily. And then John Wright, he's the dark horse, the underdog. He could do it. So, what are your thoughts?
Honestly, my thoughts are that all 4 of those guys are personally saying the right things, but especially in racing, words are meaningless. Driving is everything. So
yeah.
We'll see how these guys go. I do expect some big things for the championship 4. I expect them at the very least to run inside the top 5 for most of this race. And we'll kind of see what goes on, but I did like Whitley's answer to your question about saving tires. Uh, you did say that fuel's only going to last about 20 laps, so there's not going to be a big need to save tires. So
That's right.
these boys, they're basically going to just put foot pedal to the metal and and hope for the best.
Going to be a really good time here at Auto Club today for the Harpoon Design Truck Series Championship finale. Going to be a great time, man. So right now, you guys will see, all the folks who are watching, on the left side of your screen, you will see a couple different colors. So the drivers in red, they are the Championship 4 drivers. So watch out for them. Again, the format today is simple. All you need to do is finish higher than the other 3 championship drivers. Just like modern day NASCAR, in the playoff format, it's the exact same. So going to be a lot of fun today to see who gets to walk away with the championship today. And then the other color, purple. Those purple drivers are the Contender 4 drivers. So what we've been doing on the inside, and what we did last season as well, is basically we have the essentially like a little mini championship of the 12 drivers who did not make it into the championship bracket, and they basically had their own little format, same thing as the championship. It's basically a best of the rest championship, and right now these 4 drivers are the ones who have made it this far. So their format is the exact same. Melvin Young, Charlie Birch, Nick Simpson, and Charles Balance. And all they got to do is, again, finish ahead of their other competitors in purple, and they'll also win a nice little money purse. So going to be a lot of fun there for them too. But obviously the main star of the shows today are the ones in red. So we'll watch out for them, as Mark Whitley right now is currently pole sitter with a 40.84, and Nick Lights is right there behind him for the 40.85, and JD 40.85 as well. Frankie, these times are ridiculously close.
Yeah, these times are really close, with Auto Club being, I would say, more of a super speedway track, especially for these trucks, than an actual 1.5 mile track. We expect to see the times really close. I will say though that basically Jonathan Wright and Nick Lights got basically the exact same time at an 85.1.
Wow.
And yeah, that's pretty close. As I think there's Nick going to the top with the 40.7. So Nick Lights is into the 7s. Now the only thing is, where is Joseph Mealy? He's obviously leaving to go for qualify late, a little later than normal, and let's kind of see what kind of lap time he can pull out of him.
Yeah, right there, Nick Lights, you saw him, 40.79, got the pole there in front of Mark Whitley. What does Joseph Mealy have for him?
I expect Joseph to at least be in the 40.8s. This first lap, it'll definitely be a big tell to see where he'll be. And he goes P4 with a 40.87. That's not a bad lap on your first lap. Let's see if he can improve on this second lap. Gets to the bottom pretty decently. That's a pretty good turn 2. Let's see if he can make up that ground in turn 3 and 4, because he's got to gain just a little under a 10th. And another good couple set of corners. This might be a pole lap here. Let's see. Time on the board says, looks like 40 point. Nope, still same time, 40.87. So not gonna improve on that, but still great qualifying results so far. The top 4 are championship 4. Who would have thought?
Unbelievable. Having just a few technical difficulties with our scoring system. Don't mind us as we fix that for you. But Frankie, man, what's it going to take here to get this done? I mean, the Contender 4 drivers, Nick Simpson, for example, has been putting on a show with those guys, so should be a lot of good times there for them.
Yeah, that's the other thing that kind of gets, I would like to say, almost kind of lost in the sauce, as I like to say. It's, these guys aren't racing, they are racing each other, but they're also racing against other people who also kind of have different agendas. And, you know, like, for example, like you just named Nick Simpson, he's not racing for a championship. He's racing for kind of pride at this point for Nick Simpson, I believe, unless he is in the contender for, which I believe actually he is. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm in Trevor Zelazny also, who hasn't gone out yet. He's racing for pride as well. You don't know. We know Trevor. He's pretty fast. So we'll see how Trevor goes here tonight. But there are other people that are not. They're not racing for as much as the championship for. There's obviously the contender playoffs, and there's also, oh, speaking of devil, another good name is Josh Larson. Got bounced out in the last round, and you know he's racing for pride at this point. He wants to kind of show people he probably deserved to be in the championship for.
Great point.
So yeah, we'll see some guys up front that aren't really fighting for the championship, but we wouldn't be surprised to see them up front.
Love that. Still working out some of these issues real quick with us. Sorry for that. Frankie, I mean, fill us in. I mean, right now, Nick Light's obviously back on top, but I mean, Trevor Zelazny, you're right. I haven't seen him for quite a while, but is really fast. A lot of these guys, man, going to put on a good show tonight. Alrighty, well, qualifying is over. Going to be a good time tonight. Mark Whitley is on the pole. I'm sorry, Nick Lights is on the pole. Excuse me. I promise we're going to work through our issues right now. Always love to have technical issues. It just makes you really happy on the inside. But these things happen sometimes, and you cannot predict them. So we're gonna continue on as if nothing ever happened. It's all right. Alrighty. Boom. There we are. Okay. I think we're back, folks. We are good to go. Colors a little wrong. Whoops. Ignore that. Listen, on this channel, if we have issues, we're going to just joke about it. Because these things, you never know when they're going to happen. So, it's all good in the hood. As they say. Boom. Man, it's almost like I know what I'm doing. Love that. Alrighty, well, hey, we are back. Beautiful. All right, folks, we apologize for that, but hey, we're back just like that. No problems at all. It's like it wasn't even a thing. Right now, we're going to just show you guys the order real fast, just so we're not going to forget about that. But hey, right now, Nick Lights takes the pole. Love that. Mark Whitley going to be in P2. Joseph Mealy. Man, I mean, I'll tell you what, do not forget about him. Looking good. Jonathan Wright, P4. All Championship 4 drivers are starting 1 through 4. Unbelievable job. Josh Larson, 5th. Clinton Woodby, 6th. Anthony Williams, 7th. Mike Corvo, 8th. Melvin Young, 9th. Nick Biddy, 10th. Michael Lanphier, 11th. Charlie Birch. And then Nick Simpson. Trevor Zelazny. Looks like he's starting from the pits. Might have forgotten to launch it there, but no problem at all. Here we go. Green flag in the air for the Harpoon Design Truck Series Championship race. We are off. We're going to watch all these boys fan out. Frankie, what do you expect to see in this first stage?
I don't really know what to expect. I mean, I do think we'll get some decent racing. I think especially the first couple laps will really be a telltale sign of kind of what these drivers' agendas are. Like you see Nick Lights and Mark Whitley battling hard for the lead. They want to get clean air. But you also see guys really battling in the pack. It's starting to get 2 by 2 behind Joseph Mealy.
Yes, sir. Right now, battle for the lead. But hey, I'll tell you what. What's heating up is that middle pack. Melvin Young, Jonathan Wright. I like that Melvin Young car. He went with the purple wheels to match the Contender Series banner. Gotta love that dedication. He's a man who's out for blood tonight. Ooh, John Wright got a little too close right there next to Melvin Young.
Yeah, right now, John Wright's not really in a position he kind of wants to be in. He wants to have some fresh air, but unfortunately, F51 of Josh Larson not allowing him to get that fresh air. You know, running the bottom of the racetrack here. There's Josh Larson trying to go to the bottom. You see he's blinking there a little bit, but
Ooh. Oh boy. Listen, I'll tell you what, right now, Josh Larson is one of those guys who's not happy with John Wright taking him out of the playoffs a couple races back. So I've got a feeling, hey, listen, Josh Larson's going to try and win this race and play spoiler, but if he can make that day of Jonathan Wright any harder, he's probably going to do it.
yeah, but it's not just about being in a guy's way. It's about kind of messing with him mentally. You see right there, John Wright is also getting passed by the 32 truck of Nick Biddy. So, like, you could be kind of a roadblock, if you will, but you on the track, but you can also be a roadblock in your mind. And
Exactly.
if I'm John Wright, you gotta just dust off those first couple laps and just try and get into a rhythm. You know, and right now he unfortunately just can't get into a rhythm, and right now he's just falling behind.
Completely agree. Right now, we're going to ride on board John Wright real quick, see what that cockpit has to show. The sun, Frankie, right at the end of the practice and the beginning of qualifying was right in their eyes right there, entering turn 3, but it's lower. We're entering sunset. This race will end under full nighttime conditions.
Yeah, it definitely looks like the sun, like to your point, looks like the sun is kind of hid behind those posters into turn 3 and 4, those billboards, and you know, I don't think it's not going to be a factor as much for these guys, but there might be a lap or two where the sun will just peek out just behind those boards, and it'll kind of be like a mental block for you, and like, hey, that wasn't there before.
That's right.
Yeah, but right now, like I said before, the first couple laps we'll see kind of what everybody's agenda is, and right now we're seeing some guys run a couple different lanes. You see guys run in the middle of the track. You see guys running the fourth groove up the track, like you see Melvin Young, and you also see guys just right around the bottom, like the top 3. You know, just staying hooked to that white line and just trying to hook it all the way around the racetrack. So right there, Melvin Young, Charlie Birch, kind of taking a little wide arc into the corner.
It's a good point. This camera shot's, we'll stay on this real quick. This really shows how they fan out. This track can hold, Frankie, 5 wide. And right now, we'll see guys diving low, diving high, all kinds of maneuvers right here. As you see the top 3 sticking to that low line, but Melvin Young and Mike Corvo right there in the middle. All different lanes trying to find that grip. Right now, the sun's not really out. It's going down. So, Frankie, as this track cools down, where's the preferred line?
I would say the preferred line, especially if it cools down, is probably around the bottom of the racetrack. And that's where you see, oh, we got a car around it.
Josh Larson goes around. Caution flag not out yet. We stay green.
And fortunate for him, just, again, only a 1-car incident looks like. Man, what happened?
Take a look. Nick Biddy right now, right behind him. Oh, uh-oh, maybe hooks him a little bit. Tries to pass him. Yeah, Nick Biddy just kind of hooks him right there, Frankie. But no harm, no foul. That 51 Rice machine looks pretty good. No damage. We keep her going.
Yeah, maybe a bit of a damaged ego, but man, that is unfortunate. And Nick Biddy, again, not trying to hook him. He just pulled out a little bit, seeing if he had a run. He didn't. He pulled back in line, and that's what ultimately hooked him. As he just immediately going to try a move around the outside of not Nick Biddy, Mark Whitley. Unfortunately, not going to make that work, but I'll tell you what, he might get a good run here. Go to the inside. Yep, that's what he's going to do. He's going to poke out. Unfortunately for him, Mark Whitley's got that draft of Nick Lights. And these guys might see Nick Lights starting to struggle here a little bit. We've kind of known, I would say, honestly, over this course of the season, Nick Lights is extremely fast, but his Achilles heel has been saving tires.
That's right.
he is ultra fast, but the one thing he is, like I was just talking about, he is not very good at is saving tires. And you see it right there. There's Mark Whitley trying to get a good run on that 4 machine. He's he's gonna push him down this back straightaway.
Good moves right here by Mark Whitley. Right now, you're seeing in the rear view, Nick Biddy is not going away. He is right there as well. Frankie, this track is kind of nice in a way. It's not exactly a super speedway, obviously, but it has characteristics of it as far as the draft, as you mentioned. How much of a neutralizer is this? You know, guys who maybe are slower or not as competitive on typical 1.5 mile, tracks, can you really get up to the front here, as Nick Biddy's doing right here in the lead?
Yeah, this track really races kind of like a miniature super speedway where, the draft is ultra important, and, and the big thing about that is you don't want damage to your race truck. And that will be a big thing heading into later stages in this race, where you don't want to really touch the wall too many times, because if you damage that truck too much, it could mess with the aero, which means you're not going to have enough straightaway speed. And see Joseph Neely losing another spot, losing it to Melvin Young here.
Yeah, falling back a little bit. I think these guys right here, one thing I do want to find out, how long does it take to go on a full tank of fuel? Keep in mind, these trucks only have 50% full capacity for their fuel. So, stage 1 ends at lap 20. It might be close. We'll find out real quick. But, Joseph Mealy is falling back a little bit. Maybe trying to conserve fuel, Frankie. That could be a concern here.
Yeah, that could be a concern, as we're 3 wide. 3 wide for that 3rd position. And I'll tell you what, I've seen Mark Whitley drop as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the game point here. They went 10 laps, kind of want to see what they saw for themselves, and yeah, I think that's what they're doing. I think it'd be really good to see an in-car.
Ooh, Melvin Young hits the wall pretty hard right there. Really bad out of shape.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Got too high up there.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what, if you hit the wall, especially on the entry, it looks like what happened, unfortunately, that wall just sucks you right in, and there's really no way of getting off of it.
Yeah, that's big damage there on the right side. I can see it crunched in on that right front. So contender 4, driver Melvin Young, having some early issues here.
Yeah, but I was just talking about, I think it'd be a good idea to go on board with Mark Whitley or Joseph Mealy to see what exactly, because Nick Biddy, he is pulled to a 2.5 lead. Now, usually that is not a factor here. That is usually not the MO of this racetrack. Everything is super close and super tight, especially the amount that he's pulled, especially in the last couple laps. He has pulled out to like I was saying, a 1.4, 1.5 second lead in a matter of 2 laps.
Frankie, you can hear it. They're clutching it. Mark is clutching it.
And you can see there, Mark Whitley putting the clutch in, shutting the truck off, and letting it coast. So what that'll do is you're not basically using any engine of the car, which is a bad way to explain it. But basically, think of it like this. If your engine is running, you are using fuel. So the best way to save fuel is to shut the car off, shut the engine off. But doing that, especially at running high speeds like Mark is doing, it is a skill that you do not learn in a night or in a day. It is learned over time, and it's learned over experience. And Mark Whitley is using his experience to kind of set himself up for this next stage, and especially if these guys are clutching now. Yeah, I'm hearing over the radio 7 this time.
Wow, here he comes.
Yeah, this is big, especially for this next stage. This kind of just shows that, these stages are going to be, you're going to have to pit in this stage. And right now you can see, again, Nick Biddy, that big lead he had, now it's down to 2. Now it's gone. It's gone at this point. It's right now around 2/10 of a second.
So Frankie, obviously, these boys are questioning if they can make this first stage in fuel. That's going to play a big role. We see sometimes these races become just these fuel strategy races. And so this race, Frankie, it's really going to be all about, there's draft, there's fuel, there's saving tires, there's everything that you can throw at these drivers is right here, pretty much except rain at this point.
Yeah, that's the other thing. And that's the other thing about kind of setting up your run. You saw the leaders, especially the top 3. They were running the bottom of the racetrack. Obviously the bottom of the racetrack is the shortest way around. If you want to use less amount of fuel without shutting the car off, just travel. The least amount possible. And whatnot. Yeah. And you see guys that they're still running the top. See Michael Lanfear, he's pulling out of his pits. There's Melvin Young pulling out of his pits. See Nick Biddy down pit road, our leader. So is Nick Stinson, one of the Contender 4 series. We're seeing a bunch of guys come in.
Big crowd right here. Nick
Jonathan
Biddy.
Wright. Jonathan Wright also.
Nick Biddy, your leader, coming down. Jonathan Wright. This should be interesting, Frankie. All these guys coming down. Keep in mind, pits end in 1 lap or close in 1 lap. So these guys have to either save their fuel until lap 20, stage 1 ends. But the next time the leader, which right now is Joseph Mealy, crosses this line, pit road will end. So that will be communicated to these drivers. As right now, Joseph Mealy, here he comes. We're seeing a couple guys coming down pit road. Mike Corvo, Clinton Woodby. There they are. They're still clutching it. Joseph Mealy, you can hear it.
Yeah, obviously now they can't. Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, Steve, but I don't think they can. I think they're just really trying their best to make it. And they're doing something besides Whitley. And if I were them, I wouldn't even worry about, the 78 of Trevor Zlasny, who's 23 seconds back. The gap I'm looking at is Mark Whitley's. He's at 34 seconds right now.
That's
at
right.
this point, you are not. At this point, don't even try to fight. Just
Right.
basically coast around the entire racetrack and give up around 30 seconds. And that is a lot of time. So right now, Joseph Mealy and Nick Lights, man, what a first stage. I mean, this is not at all what I expected. I didn't expect to see fuel saving to this magnitude, especially
That's right.
in this first stage.
But right now, Nick Lice is half a lap away from winning stage 1. Pretty incredible job so far. A lot of strategy being involved. Fuel is a concern here today. This should be a lot of fun, Frankie, the rest of this race.
But what it also does is it kind of makes the strategy for stage 2 that more clear. You're not going to see guys save at all.
Nick might be out. As he crosses the line gingerly for stage 1. Nick Lice will be your stage 1 winner. Great job by him, but man, he is slow.
Yeah, he is slow, and unfortunately, he's got to go another lap around. He's got to go because the pace car did not come out that time. If he has enough fuel to go, and I don't know if he does, we'll see, because I think he was expecting the pace car to come out, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of was too. And man, this could get really interesting for Nick Lights and Joseph Mealy.
Yeah, this is going to be tight. But hey, look at Trevor Zlasny. I mean, right there, finds himself P3, started in the back. And hey, just like that, Mark Whitley in P4. These guys obviously feeling pretty good about their fuel because they just pit. And then Jonathan Wright, your 4th championship driver. So great job by these guys. We'll follow through the rest of the field in just a second. But hey, we're going to go thank our sponsors real quick. And then we'll come back for stage 1 pit stops. Be right back. All right, we are back for the Harpoon Design Truck Series Championship race here today. Man, this is going to be a good time. Right now, Stage 1 has just ended, and Nick Lights is your Stage 1 winner. They have not yet pit, so we're not going to try and go and talk to them. Don't want to distract them from their strategy, so we'll hold off on that. But Frankie, I mean, right now, you know, they're going to come down to pit. Looks like they're pretty good to go. Joseph Mealy right behind as well. The whole field's pitting, Frankie.
Yeah, the whole field is pitting, and man, I'll tell you what, I am very surprised that these boys made it. As Nick Lights, I think Nick Lights might be out of fuel.
He is fully out. Yep. That could be big for Nick Lights. I mean, if he can you knock into his pit stop? Will he have to tow while he's on pit road? Oh, he's gonna make it, but man, he's gonna have a lot of time to make up. He'll definitely be in the back of the pack. So, Frankie, what did we learn in stage 1? Obviously, fuel is a major concern. And, I mean, tires didn't seem to be a huge situation. But, I mean, stage 2, keep in mind, you know, ends at lap 45. So we're going to have another situation by the time we go back green here of about another 21 lap stint. So fuel will, again, be an issue. Right now, Clinton Woodby looks like he might have stayed out here, so going to inherit the lead. Great move potentially by him to see if he can lead this pack. Track position is a good key factor. It's good stuff there. Let's go talk to Nick Lights. Looks like he is back available, as he did win that first stage, so let's bring him in. Hey, Nick, how's it going, man? Steve in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Steve.
Hey, dude. Well, hey, that was mighty close on fuel right there. But you pulled it off. Obviously, right now, it looks like you're showing 8th place, so good job there. But hey, stage 1 winner coming down to pit again for the fuel, I assume. But what's it going to take, man? I mean, stage 2 going to be about the same length of time. I mean, how do you do it? How do you pull it off?
Yeah, I actually ran out coming up pit road there, so I know I can stretch it 20 laps this time. So I think for stage 2 and that final stage is, you know, just staying up front like we were and managing the draft the best we can and try to save what we can and be there in the end for it.
Awesome, man. Love that. Congrats again, stage 1, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, well, Frankie, you see it. I mean, coming down back to pit road to top off on fuel. Very smart move right there. We're seeing a couple guys doing that. Trevor's Lasney. Mike Carville looks like he's also doing the same thing. So, Clinton Woodby, though, what do you think of this? Great job by them. We'll show you guys that shoes one more time since we did not see it a second ago. My apologies for that. Always want to make sure we show everybody the entire situation, how it unfolds. Let's take a look back at this. All right, here we come. So Clinton Woodby, yeah, chooses the outside lane. A lot of guys choosing down low too as well, but Nick Simpson up high again. Mark Whitley low down. Melvin Young up high, so pretty split field. Good job by Frankie Barroso in that Harpoon Design choose truck. Love to see it. Going to be an interesting time as we go on, man. Clinton Woodby will inherit the lead right here. Picks the outside lane. Going to be pretty cool to see how this thing unfolds. Right now, an update for the Contender Series Championship. Charlie Birch right now is doing really, really good. P3 currently for Charlie Birch. Having a really, really good time there. Again, these guys are having the same kind of championship drive. So watch out for them. Championship drivers, everybody in red, all they have to do is place ahead of the other 3 drivers in red for the championship. And then everybody in purple are for the Contender Championship. So right now, Nick Simpson, Charlie Birch, and Melvin Young. Charles Bounce couldn't be here tonight, unfortunately. But these 3 drivers in purple are going for their Contender Series Playoff Championship. So Pretty cool format we have, best of the rest format, and I'll tell you what, gonna be a really good time. Clint Woodby gonna lead them off as we go into stage 2.
Yeah, pace car will be off. We'll see Joseph Mealy, Clinton Woodby, leading the field. The furthest championship 4 guy up front is obviously Joseph Mealy in red, and we're back to green.
Here we go. Love to see it. You know what, Frankie? We're going to do a nice early Bring the Noise, sponsored by Harpoon Design. Let's get it. All right, Frankie, one of my favorite things to do here on the channel is that Bring the Noise segment sponsored by Harpoon Design. Guys, go check them out, harpoondesign.com. You do not want to miss out on them. The best painter in the business, and also Joe Gibbs Racing certified. Love to see it. Got to get there and do it. Right now, a lot of action on the track, Frankie. Charlie Birch. What is he doing, man? Looking so good up there in P1. Not holding back at all. Contender Series playoff driver trying to make it happen. Trying to go for his first win ever as well. And here he is fighting Nick Biddy. What do you make of this?
I'll tell you what, great moment for Charlie Birch fighting Nick Biddy. We know he's fast here. But I will say this, not to be a skeptic or anything, but I feel like this is going to work against him because you saw the agenda with 1 to go before the restart. 3 of the championship 4 drivers came down and topped off, so they're thinking they're going to have to save a lot of fuel to make it to the end of this stage, and this might be another fuel-saving stage with these drivers knowing that they're going to have to fuel save. You know, we'll see what they do, but I'll tell you what, it wouldn't shock me if one of these championship 4 and anybody else who pitted for that matter can make it to the end of this stage.
That's right. I mean, right now, a lot of these drivers, hey, listen, they don't get a lot of TV time. I get a lot of jokes sometimes. Hey, Steve, Frankie, cover all the guys who are in the back of the field, not just the front. Hey, listen, guess what? These guys are all in the front right now. We love to see it. Nick Biddy right now, really, really strong these past couple of weeks, but Charlie Birch looking so good. Josh Larson, we saw him earlier get spun out by Nick Biddy. It seemed obviously accidental, but these things happen. Larson looking to get that TV time right now, and man, these sponsors have got to be happy.
Yeah, the sponsors can never complain when you're running up front. And I'll tell you what, these boys that are running up front, they are racing pretty good right now as Charlie Birch looking to be inside of Josh Larson. It's going to slow them both down, but Charlie's going to try to get this position entering turn 1. He's going to try to drive it off in there and see if he can get that spot from good old Mr. Josh Larson. Josh Larson running the 4th groove. He's going to try to roll that momentum around the outside and it looks like it's going to work. Charlie Birch does not get the drive off the bottom of the racetrack he wants. He's going to tuck in line. And P2 goes to Josh Larson.
Nice job right now. Back at the pack, Mike Corvo. We saw him earlier doing pretty good in the pit stops and whatnot. Right now in that 7722Q. If you don't know what that is, 22q.org. It's a great organization for chromosome deletion, I believe is the proper terminology for it. Go check him out. Really good cause and really good foundation. Not a lot of people know what that is. So definitely something that should be understood. As we see right now, Michael Lanphier coming back on track, it looks like, might have pit really early, Frankie.
Yeah, it looks like he kind of went the absolute opposite direction of everybody else and wanted to pit early, get that fuel in early. And you know what? Why not? If caution comes out, guess what? He's the only car one lap down.
Exactly.
So,
smart move.
Smart move by Michael Lanphier, doing something completely different from everybody else, putting himself in position.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, something is brewing in here. This is something, as the great Marshall Mathers said in a song, "Something's wrong, I can feel it." Nick Lights, Mark Whitley, 12th and 13th, 6 seconds behind the leader.
Yeah.
I feel like they're saving a lot of fuel, especially Mark Whitley.
They got to be. I mean, Mark Whitley, to your point, yeah, way back there in 13th. Nick Lights in 12th. I mean, Nick, out of all the drivers here today, learned how much fuel matters in that first stage. Luckily, he made it. But yeah, these guys, excuse me. Oof, where'd that come from? Nick Lights right there in 12th. Mark Whitley 13th. Frankie, I mean, fuel saving is one thing, but to this much, they're 8 seconds back.
Yeah, but you saw at the end of the stage where Mark Whitley was 35 seconds behind Mr. Nick Lights. And Nick Lights, honestly, it's worth it giving up 15 seconds or 20 seconds at the start of this, just to end up on the right side of that.
Yeah.
And that was Mark Whitley, one of the best getting on and off of pit road. 35 seconds behind once everything was all set in stone. And man, it's I'll tell you what, those boys are playing it smart. If I was Joseph Mealy and John Wright, I'd be really considering hoping for a caution or coming down early.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you do this, right, because you saw what Mark Whitley did. He was 35 seconds back, so I don't think it's going to kill their race, but what it will do is it'll kill their track position for the start of the third stage. And I'm hearing on the radio, leaders are coming in. Looks like Nick Biddy, Charlie Birch, I think Josh Larson might be in that group as well.
Let's see it. Nick Biddy taking the low line right here, going to be pulling down off the track. Yes, sir. Slowing down. A lot of guys making moves right now. Also, Nick Simpson. A lot of Contender Series drivers making a move here. Charlie Birch, Nick Simpson, Anthony Williams right there in the back. Making a move, trying to make sure that they get this fuel. This fuel, Frankie, will get them the rest of the way, so that could be massive. But the lead is inherited by Trevor Zelazny. I've not seen him for a few races here, but was very dominant throughout the entire season. Looked very, very good. Can never really break through and get that first win, but right now doing a great job.
Yeah, doing a great job. Trevor Zelazny is right now, and I think his play is just to do whatever the Championship 4 drivers don't do. I'm hearing Josh Larson coming into the pit. Yep, that's true. Josh Larson into the pit, getting low down here.
There he is right now.
Again, my only concern, especially for the two Championship 4 drivers you're seeing on the screen, Joseph Mealy and Jonathan Wright, I don't know if they can make it. How, can they just give up 5 seconds a lap and still make it on fuel? I just don't know. Again,
that's tough.
It's 45. It's not, for Jonathan Wright, I feel like he's in a little bit better spot to make it. Yep, I'm hearing on the radio. Sorry, Joseph Mealy come down this time.
There he is.
No Moss, says Joseph Mealy. He's coming down pit road, and now the big question is, honestly, where does he fall in line? Does he go a lap down? Does he go right? Does he stay right ahead of Trevor Zelazny?
It's true. And Frankie, one thing I wanted to mention too. Right now, we covered it. But Michael Lanphier was down pit road for what we thought was fuel, but right now we're looking at 3 laps down for Michael Lanphier. So it appears he might have had some kind of black flag situation, some penalty. and finds himself, unfortunately, in 14th, 3 laps down. So, going to be a long road to recover there for him.
Yeah, might have been a speeding pit penalty, and I'll tell you what, getting on and off pit road, especially if you're trying to gain all the ground you can, is very easy to speed, especially here at this racetrack.
And Frankie, right here, we just saw Larson pitting a second ago, last lap, and right now he's exiting with Joseph Maley, so potentially another penalty there. We'll have to look back into that, but that is not good for Josh Larson right here.
Yeah, not good for Josh Larson. They might, if anything, he might have taken 4 tires, but the good news for Josh Larson is he's only 1 lap down. Trevor Zelazny, the leader, is right there in front of him. So he's not going to be in too bad of a shape. Now, the only concern is if Mark Whitley and Nick Lights can make it on fuel, then that would be the concern if I was anybody a lap down. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to get trapped a lap down. And obviously nobody does, and especially in this type of situation, because going into the final stage, you just know there's not going to be a lot of cautions at the end of the stage, and you just want to basically give yourself the best position to succeed. And unfortunately, being a lap down, the top 6 are on the lead lap. And I'll tell you what, Trevor is playing an absolute pest right now, and staying out. He is absolutely saying, you know what? I'm going to stay out until a caution comes out, and if it doesn't come out, oh well.
And Frankie, you can hear it in Nick Lights' cockpit. He's 30 seconds back at this point, and he is clutching it, turning the engine off. So they are really trying to get this stage done with no stops necessary.
Yeah, he's absolutely ultra saving right now. So is Mark Whitley. The only thing I'd be concerned about, again, for Mark Whitley is man, did I save enough fuel? I mean, I'm going faster than Nick Lights, but am I really saving enough fuel? So I'm hearing on the radio, JD, John Wright, our other Championship 4 contender, coming down pit road. You see him on the bottom of the racetrack. Let's see. No mistakes. It's a big thing. No mistakes. Can he get on and off pit road clean?
Looks like a pretty conservative entry there, Frankie, for Jonathan Wright. Not exactly fast getting into there, but definitely safe. Going to be pitting, but what does this mean for Trevor Zelazny? There's no way he can make enough fuel, right?
No, I don't think so. As pits are going to close this time by, I don't know if he's gonna make it, but man, he's giving it a good shout. I will tell you that.
Jonathan Wright pulls into his pit box right now, nice and clean. Good job by them. Charlie Birch right now trying to recover his lap. Trevor Zelazny right now, real slow, coming down to pit right now. It looks like here he is. The lead right now will be inherited by Mark Whitley. As Trevor Zelazny does come down pit road, is the leader currently. Until 30 seconds from now, Mark Whitley passes him for the lead. But the second the leader crosses the line, which is right now, pits do close. So Mark Whitley and Nick Lights, this is it for them. Nobody else can pit at this point. We are 2 laps away from the end of stage 2. And they are fighting, Frankie.
Yeah, they're fighting for the stage win, and honestly, the stage wins really don't mean that much for these guys. I think they just want to use each other up to save as much fuel as possible. And I'll tell you what, I think Mark Whitley might let him go. There you go. Nick Lights might have saved that little bit more than Mark Whitley did.
I think Mark is definitely thinking, hey, you know what? You can take this battle. You can win it. I'm going to go win the war and grab that championship. The stages, to your point, Frankie, don't matter. Points in this race do not matter. It's all about who do you finish ahead of.
Yeah, exactly. I'll tell you what, these boys aren't racing like the points don't matter. And Mark Whitley, I think Mark Whitley might have tried to save one more lap more than Nick Lights did. And, you know, we'll see how this plays out. And here's the thing. Trevor Zelazny pitting.
Fuel only.
He's now for fuel only. He's 7 seconds back. So that just shows you that honestly, not pitting is for sure. It is working right now. It is absolutely working.
Uh-oh.
And if you absolutely have to, then you have to pit. But these guys don't want to pit. See right there. These boys
for the stage.
It's like the turtle against the tortoise.
Yep, for the stage 2 win. Coming in at a mild 40 miles per hour. It might be Nick Lights. It might be Mark Whitley. It's going to be Nick Lights for your stage 2 winner. It's pretty funny, Frankie, but hey, gets it done. Mark Whitley right now crosses the line second. Great job by him. Trevor Zlasny and Joseph Mealy also finding themselves right in line 2 for the top 5. And Nick Biddy right there, top 5 for the stage. So great job by them. So we're going to come back in just a second and we will resume this race. We are a little past halfway in the championship race for the Harpoon Design Truck Series. This is heating up and fuel is an issue. We'll be right back, folks. We're going to go thank our sponsors and then we'll come back and we'll talk to some drivers. All right, folks, we are back here for the championship race, sponsored by Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. Go check them out anywhere you hear podcasts. Nerds Doing Nerd Things. Great job, AJ. He's one of our good buddies here at the Wheels America Racing Network. He is also the one who runs that podcast, so go and check him out. Again, Apple Music, I believe Spotify, everywhere you see and listen to podcasts. Great job. He helps us out, AJ, on Thursdays for the Cup Series on this channel, so a big shout out to him and sponsoring this race today for us. Right now, all the boys are pitting. We'll see how these guys are going to do here in just a second. Mark Whitley staying out. Very smart move potentially for him. Nick Lights doing the same here, as well as Josh Larson looking to maybe get his lap back. But so far, a lot of pit road drivers coming down pit road. We'll see who gets beaten off here. Charlie Birch doing a good job right now so far in this race. Clean truck. Doing a great job right now. Gets that 3rd position. Looks like Trevor Zlasny might have just barely beat out Joseph Mealy. So a good job there by these guys. Melvin Young, Nick Simpson in the back. They are contender drivers also making their way to the end. So right now, Mark Whitley looks like he's going to be holding off these drivers and going to be restarting this stage number 2 in first place. So great job by him. Who can we dial up? That's the question. Frankie out there in the choose truck. We'll talk to him in just a second, or we'll watch him in just a second, excuse me. Next time by as we go for the choose. Let's bring in, who should we talk to? You know what? Let's bring in Nick Simpson. Is he available? Can I talk to him? Take a look. Boom. Here he is. A lot of Nick Simpson fans in the chat. We'll bring our boy Nick Simpson in here. Hey, Nick Simpson. Hey, it's Steve in the booth, man. You got me?
Yeah, I got you. Loud and clear.
Hey, man. Obviously a great race so far for you. Going for that Contender Series Playoff Championship. And you've been looking pretty good. What's it going to take to beat out your competitors? Only 3 of them today. You, Melvin, and Charlie Birch. Truck's looking pretty strong. All the fenders are still on it. What do you got for him?
Yeah, the fenders are still on it, but I'm sliding through the pits each time. So if I can stop that, I'll stop giving up some positions to these guys. But, just trying to find the good lines, and we'll see the rest of the race, how everything wears out, and hopefully bring it home.
Love that, man. Hey, a lot of followers here in the chat for you. A lot of big fanfare here for the Nick Simpson crew. So what are you going to say to him?
Yeah, I just appreciate them coming out every week and cheering me on. Got a lot of good fans out there in the 46 race team, so just real happy that they followed me up through the whole race and or the whole season, and hopefully bring one home for them, even if it is a contender.
Love that, man. Hey, congrats for the rest of the way, and we'll see you at the end of this thing.
Thanks a lot.
Alrighty. Well, Nick Simpson, Contender Series playoff hopeful champion, doing a really good job. Again, right there, we missed it, so I do apologize. We'll go back to that real quick just so you guys can see what actually happened. I like to make sure that everybody sees the actual choose so that nothing is left undone. We'll just fast forward this into oblivion until we have the drivers getting past. And then we'll show you guys how the actual choose went down, because that is important. These restarts can matter. So a lot can happen there on these restarts. I mean, high lane, low line. I mean, it really depends. But also shout out again right here, as Frankie gets in place, to harpoondesign.com. Go check them out. They designed this beautiful paint scheme right here. And here's the choose right here. Charlie Birch on the outside. Trevor's Lasney on the inside. And then here come your championship 4 drivers. Kind of split. Right down the middle. Not a lot going on there as far as decisions. Nothing too wacky and wild and crazy, so that's it right there. We're going green. Here we go. Green flag in the air for the 3rd stage. This is it. 30 laps from now, we will crown a champion for the Harpoon Design Truck Series. And Joseph Mealy is leading his first laps of the day. This is huge for him. Clean air and track position.
Joseph is sitting right where he wants right now. The only thing I would be a little concerned about is the fuel situation. Again, these guys, what do? They kind of conserve a little bit, try to get, because in my opinion, the best time for these guys to pit would be around lap 66, 67. That would be probably the ideal time to come down pit road. But what do these guys want to do? Do they want to sit and wait and they want to conserve, or do they kind of just want to just go after it?
That's right. 1 pit stop will be definitely required, Frankie. So, and right now, the way this race is trending, it'll probably be a green flag pit stop. So that could mean everything for these guys. Right now, racing is all over the track. Joseph Mealy, again, Frankie, getting this clean air. What does that mean for this place, Auto Club?
Clean air is, maybe in the truck it's a little less important, but definitely it is pretty important. You know, you want clean air, you want clean track, you want nothing bothering the handling of your truck. And Nick Lights just going down the inside of his teammate Joseph Mealy. I think we all know what Nick Lights wants to do. He wants to get up front. And, you know, Joseph Mealy and Nick Biddy are on the outside of him. Are not going to let that happen.
That's right. Really good battle here. 3 different lanes being utilized right now by Nick Biddy, Joseph Mealy, and Nick Lights. Joseph going to slide up on top of Nick Biddy. Oh, holds him down for Nick Lights. Blocking those lanes, Frankie. Feeling like Talladega out there.
Yeah, the other thing is I think he wants Nick to be able to get to second. I think he wants to have a teammate there, even though he is fighting against him in the championship. I think he just wants a teammate there just for comfortability. And right now he's trying to get his teammate up into P2. Unfortunately, not having any luck is Nick Lights.
That's right. Right now, I mean, Nick Biddy is not going anywhere. We've seen him earlier in the stage too. Man, just leading the race, just not holding back. But right now, we're seeing a couple hungry sharks behind them, Frankie. Mark Whitley right now going to make a move on Nick Lights, it looks like. And then Jonathan Wright is right there. Do not count out Jonathan Wright. Very fast in practice.
Yeah, very fast in practice was Jonathan Wright. But the only thing I would be concerned about for Nick Lights is, man, trying to pass Nick Biddy. How bad did that burn that right front? How bad did it burn the tires? Because he's going to have to pin 10 laps. Okay, at least 10 laps. It's like, oh, Frankie, you don't know what you're talking about. 10 laps is nothing. Well, here it is kind of something. I mean, a 40-second lap here. 10 laps, 40 seconds. You do the math. I'm not good at it, but it's a damn near long time. So, but man, these boys are getting after it.
That's right. Right now, riding aboard Jonathan Wright, trying to make a move here. He likes his high middle line, kind of arcing it right there. Seems pretty quick, but Frankie, like you said, the draft and everything that it entails with that, it's hard to pass. I mean, even in these trucks, but you really got to time your move right.
Yeah, I think that's why you see Nick Biddy riding the top of the racetrack, kind of in the third, fourth lane. He's playing a little bit of defense. I don't think he's trying to pass Justin Milley, even though I don't think he would mind it. I think he just wants to get that nice run off the corner and just to defend from Joseph Mealy. Is right there. Joseph Mealy going to go down. He might get to the outside of Joseph Mealy right here. Maybe. I mean, he's there. I think he's gonna get the outside of him.
Little blinky blink by Joseph Mealy. Gotta watch out for that.
A little blink. Sorry, Steve.
Internet connection details right there. But hey, you know what? Right now, oh man, we're gonna go 3 wide right here. Looks like for the lead. Hey, you know what? If I'm Jonathan Wright, I like this. These boys are burning up their tires, man. I mean, if these Frankie, here's the thing too. If this thing stays green, when you have to pit, and pit window opens up in about 5 laps, do you maybe just take fuel?
Honestly, that is tough. That's really tough. I would probably not, because at the end of the day, these boys are taking these guys are taking full fuel, and it kind of almost doesn't make much sense to just take fuel only if you are going to, if it's just going to take the amount of time as 4 tires are, maybe barring a little bit of maybe 4 seconds.
Right.
But man, 4 seconds is, once you get new tires against old tires, 4 seconds is nothing. That's the gap. That gap will close in about 6 laps. So I think these boys, the most kind of aggressive strategy we'll see is 2 tires. We might see 2 tires, but I don't think we'll see fuel only.
Good call right there. But yeah, right now, I mean, as I was saying, Jonathan Wright, these guys up ahead are burning their tires off, and he's just kind of sitting there chilling, as we see Joseph Mealy right now kind of pulling back behind him. So what could that mean as well? But a lot going on. What would it mean, Frankie? I mean, Nick Biddy, we've seen him get pretty close here. What would it mean for him to win this last race of the season? Not a championship driver, but he is battling as if he is one.
Oh, I mean, honestly, it's bragging rights. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Unfortunately, the Truck Series is not going to be in the ASRA stable next season. So I think these guys are fighting for more for pride. Honestly, I think these guys want to go out of this, especially this season, as a winner. And I'll tell you what, who's trying to do that? Nick Biddy, Trevor Zelazny. They're both of them not Championship 4 contenders, but are both trying to achieve that fate.
That's a good point. Yeah, we're not saying the Harpoon Design Truck Series will never come back, but yeah, right now, it won't be back next season, as just in the league, we're making some changes. Me, myself, personally, is having some really cool things going on in my life and personally, so making some changes. The Cup Series on Thursdays, I guess I'm breaking this news right now mid-race, but that'll be moving to Tuesday nights. So in this time slot, that will be moving over here. And then if we get a caution here, but definitely post-race, we'll talk more about that, as well as June 1st. If you guys saw the channel title on top and also the preview before the race, we'll be making some changes here to the stream and to this broadcasting network. We're going to change our name to Race Day Live, really just change and focus on broadcasting not only to the ASRA League, but also to potentially other leagues as well. So a lot of cool changes coming up. Going to be a lot of fun. But right now, we have a battle for this championship, Frankie, that is not going to go away, and we have 20 laps to decide it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, some things never change. Mark Whitley up front, Nick Light second, Joseph Mealy P3. And man, Mark Whitley, I just think Mark Whitley just saved the tires a little better. I mean, you saw he was able to easily pass Nick Biddy on the bottom of the racetrack, where he didn't have to really drive it off in there. And man, I'll tell you what, cream of the top rises, and right now that's your top 3. That's been the same the entire season. We'll see which one of those 3 and Jonathan Wright can get it, but
That's right.
JD's got to at the very least pass Nick Biddy, and I believe he's trying. I think that could be him on the inside, or that could be him right behind him.
And Frankie, this camera right here, this gyro cam, really shows, I mean, how the banking really affects the car. I mean, you can see how angled it is. It really gives you a good sense of speed, too, as you're looking out Nick Biddy's windshield right now. But pretty intense racing right here. The draft is really, really key, as we're seeing Trevor Zlasny there on the inside making that move.
Yeah, and really the banking here, I mean, the higher you get, the more banking you have, and yeah, that's why you see some guys just really like that outside groove and just, you know, they just like living in it. You see Nick Lights not kind of living up there, but definitely Nick Biddy living up there. And unfortunately, I think Nick Biddy unfortunately might have burnt his tires up.
Man, right now, these boys, and here's the thing, Frankie, everybody has to pit at least one more time for fuel. So right now, Mark Whitley coming down right now. As I'm saying it, our top 3 championship drivers are all pitting at the same time. Hopefully nobody sped on pit road or got down safely, but right now with 18, 19 laps to go, here they come, Frankie.
I don't know if that was well planned, but man, that was some nice orchestrating from those top 3, pitting at the exact same time. This is basically the window where you don't have to push all the way. It's going to be extremely critical of who gets off pit road better.
Yes.
Joseph Mealy in a little bit of a disadvantage, being about the 4th pit stall down. Nick Lights being the most advantageous in the 1st pit stall. You see right there, who's going to get out? It'll be Mark Whitley.
Yeah, Mark Whitley gets out right now, beats out Nick Lights and Joseph Mealy. We've seen this happen before, but all it matters is, hey, how are they going to get back up through the ranks? Watch out for those bumps right there out of the exit of pit road, and they're going to blend right back into traffic. So this, Frankie, man, if a yellow comes out before everybody pits, this could spell disaster. But we saw him, 2 contender playoff drivers, Melvin Young, Charlie Birch, pitting right now too.
Yeah, the other thing is, for Jonathan Wright, what do you do if you're Jonathan Wright?
Ooh, Trevor Zlasny trying to make a move down into pit road from the high line. That is tough to do. Nick Biddy follows.
Yeah, really, I'll tell you what, I don't think Trevor wants to do that again, and that could have spelled disaster for a couple guys, but Trevor Zlasny making it work. And I believe the only car that has not made it onto pit road is Jonathan Wright.
That's right. But you know what? This is how he won his race earlier on in the playoffs. He won it by staying out and not pitting when everybody else did. Right now, Jonathan Wright has been the 4th driver speed-wise and track position-wise in this race. So he knows, you have to just make a move against the grain. And right now, we're seeing him come down to pit road, Frankie.
Yeah, a little bit of a conservative approach again, but it'll do the trick. Now the big thing is watch that gap between that 04 truck, and that 7 truck. It's about 38 seconds. And that's going to come down quickly. Where does Jonathan Wright end up? Now I will say he will have a couple laps fresher tires. And if he exits anywhere near them, it'll be big.
Do you take 2 tires here, Frankie, if you're John?
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't hate it. But I think
he's taking 4.
He's taking 4 again. Conservative there, but I'll tell you what, not a bad call. And man, you see those leaders going by him now. Let's see what the gap is, but I think it'll be too much. If it's anything, especially if it's anything over, 5 seconds, it'll definitely be too much, especially with no draft.
We get a battle for the lead, Frankie. Nick Lights on the inside of Mark Whitley. Trying to make a move now on the inside with 14 laps to go. Successful pass, but Mark Whitley going to go on the inside again. Crossover move.
Crossover. I will say I wouldn't battle too hard if I was these two guys, because Joseph Mealy is loving this. He's loving these two guys burning their tires up. Ooh, tight squeeze there for Mark Whitley. He's going to make it work. Nick Light's going on the attack again. Are we going to see the crossover again? Or is Mark Whitley going to try to power around him? He's going to try to power.
Unbelievable job. We're going to ride on board Mark Whitley here and see how he handles this. Right now, Nick Lights dives on the inside ahead of Mark Whitley. Mark going to get that great draft, but you're right, Frankie. Joseph is right behind these two, and he is lurking. Here we go again on the inside. Trade-offs all over the place.
I'll tell you what, I think these two just want clean air so bad, they're willing to burn their tires off to get that clean air. And you see Mark Whitley putting it kind of on his door right there. Ooh, Mark Whitley, is he gonna? All right, he's gonna exit pretty. They're exiting pretty straight even.
Yes, sir. Unbelievable job right now, but Joseph Mealy is catching up right now, 6/10 back. And Jonathan Wright, Frankie, to your point, we talked about him earlier. That gap is 8 seconds right now, so it did not work out for Jonathan Wright, but he's still in this thing if a yellow flag comes out.
Yeah, unfortunately, 8 seconds. I just don't think that's going to get the job done, even on 2-lap fresher tires. I think he was just hoping for a caution, and unfortunately, it didn't pan out his way. And again, like you just said, the only thing that'll save him is if a caution comes out. Is right there, Mark Whitley is even about to be passed by Joseph Mealy, and I don't know, if I'm Joseph Mealy, I don't think I would pass Mark Whitley at this point. I would almost kind of work together with him. I know he's not your teammate and Nick Lights is, but maybe if you can kind of push those two to kind of battle each other, and maybe Joseph can sneak his way through. But man, I don't know. I mean, again, split-second decisions here. 10 laps to go before the season is over.
I mean, Frankie, we've seen these guys battling tooth and nail all season long, and Mark Whitley, I mean, did he burn this stuff up, or what does this mean for Mark Whitley right now? We saw him and Nick just crossover move after crossover move for 2 or 3, 4 laps. I mean, 10 laps to go. This is tough.
Yeah, this is really tough, but I think if Mark Whitley's tires are not burnt, he's got to cool them off as best as he can. He cannot burn them up again. If he burns them up again, then it'll be over for him. You see right there, again, I don't know if I would pass Joseph Mealy. I would almost try to work together, and that's what he's doing. He's going to push Joseph Mealy.
Very smart move right there from Mark Whitley. Going to catch him. They'll catch Nick pretty quick right now, Frankie, if they keep this up.
Again, the other thing, if you're Joseph Mealy, are you trusting that Nick Lights is feeding you the right information? Do you think Joseph Mealy is asking, hey, Nick, did you burn your tires up? Do you think he's going to ask him that?
No way. I mean, he might ask him, but Nick's not going to tell him. Mark Whitley is right there, but Joseph Mealy, do not count him out. I mean, Frankie, you called it. I mean, he was watching Nick and Mark just battling right there for multiple laps, and Joseph was just kind of chilling, holding onto his tires, not burning him off, and I think he is in the catbird seat.
Yeah, these three right now they're going to war with each other, and I'll tell you what, the guy who's winning it right now is Nick Lights, and unfortunately the guy that has not gotten it right is John Wright. I'll tell you what, I will say, hats off, he did something different, and if you follow the leader, you'll finish behind the leader.
Hey, pause! You know? Hey, pause the sad music. Jonathan Wright has cut the lead by 2 seconds. He is now 6.5 seconds back. So he does seem pretty quick right now with no draft. So, I mean, 7 laps to go, obviously pretty tough, but he is not going down without a fight. Love to see it. And quick update on the Contender Series Championship. Nick Simpson, we talked to him earlier, is in P8, 3 spots ahead of Charlie Birch. So right now, running away with that championship, has a 6-second lead on Charlie Birch. Doing a great job right there, and then Melvin Young way in the back too. So if Nick Simpson can hold on, he will be your Contender Series playoff champion. Doing an absolutely amazing job there in that 46 Sand Tiger Tattoos machine. Love that, but we're going to cover this front row. Man, this championship battle is heating up. We have 6 laps to go, Frankie, and we're catching lapped traffic. What does this mean?
This means Nick Lights is gonna have dirty air. If Josh Larson does not move, and he doesn't have to move, again, that's gonna be some dirty air for Nick Lights. And you see right there, Nick Lights gonna try to run the bottom, and that's gonna hold him up a little bit because Josh Larson's gonna get that run off the corner. But what it hurts him in the corner is going to help him on the straightaway. Is right here. Mark Whitley, Joseph Mealy going to war right now, battling. I think Mark Whitley, I'll tell you what, I think he did save it.
Josh Larson hits the wall there out of turn 4. Still okay, but man, that was close.
Yeah, that was pretty close. And right now, this is not working out. This is not working out in Nick Lights' favor right now.
No.
You've got these two battling side by side. And Michael Lanfear doesn't want to go another lap down because that'll be the end of his race.
That's right. These boys, what are they going to do? Are they going to show respect for these championship drivers? Or are they going to hold off and race their race? They're giving up that low lane.
And they're getting up that low lane, but I'll tell you what, if they're not quick enough, it'll hurt Mark Whitley's exit. See right there, Mark Whitley not able to drive to the top of the corner. You see right there, he's got no help.
Oh no, Josh Larson has some big blinking issues. He really can't see him. Now he's back. Unfortunate for him, but Nick Lights is 4 laps away from being your back-to-back Harpoon Design Truck Series champion. Can he pull it off? Mark Whitley right there behind him, but just can't get through this lap traffic. And right now, Joseph Mealy pulling back just a little bit in 3rd place.
Now I'll tell you what, some guy we haven't mentioned is in 4th place. That 78 truck of Trevor Zalazny. He has caught these boys.
You're right.
He's got a little bit fresher tires.
Look at him.
Yeah, he's rolling. I think what does he do? Does he try to push Joseph Mealy? Does he kind of just say, you know what? I'm gonna stay out of this. I just want to finish in 4th. I don't want to mess up these guys, or does he try to go for the win?
I think if you're Trevor Zalazny, you're going for that win, man. I don't know, like Nick Biddy earlier, who's currently in P5, doing a great job right now against Jonathan Wright. Jonathan Wright, unfortunately, going to be out of this thing unless something happens for him drastically, but great run for him and great season for sure. But Nick Lights in P1 currently with a 0.4 of a second lead. Right now coming to 2 laps to go for the entire season. What can they do? Josh Larson right here. Going to help his teammate. Josh Larson, keep in mind, teammates with Nick Lights on Thursdays for the Cup Series. What does Josh Larson do here? He helps his teammate get to the championship? I think so, Frankie.
Yeah, and right now it is going to be really tough to catch Nick Lights without a caution. Mark Whitley gave it one last good run, and unfortunately, he might have burnt the tires a little bit. He's got to the outside of Joseph Mealy again. Again, without a caution. I just don't know if they're going to catch Nick Lights. I don't know.
Woo! Next flag will make it official if we take that white flag. And right now, Nick Lights is coming around to get that white flag for the championship race of the Harpoon Design Truck Series, sponsored by Nerds Doing Nerd Things. This is the white flag for the season. Joseph Mealy right now in P2, can't quite get it done. Mark Whitley going to get a great run here out of turn 2 to try and pass Joseph Mealy, but it won't be enough for P1. Nick Lights right now is on the backstretch, coming down into turn 3, goes down low, and Nick Lights in that 4 precision measurements machine. He will be your back-to-back Harpoon Design Truck Series champion here at Auto Club. Amazing job here by Nick Lights. Man, had a great season, battling all the time with Mark Whitley and Joseph Mealy, his teammate, for wins and multiple wins. And at the end of this race at Auto Club, it comes down to just a crazy, crazy race. Drafting, fuel strategy, tire saving, and Nick Lights gets it done again. Great job by Nick Lights here to be your champion of the Harpoon Design Truck Series for back-to-back championships. Awesome job. Joseph Mealy, his teammate, comes back home P2. Great job for him then. Unfortunately, another P2 finish on the season for Joseph Mealy, but again, as he said before in the pre-race, this is a win-win for the team. You gotta love it for these guys. Teammates gonna be celebrating. You love to see it. Mark Whitley gonna be finishing in P3. Again, had a great season. Led the league in wins. Laps led, stage wins. But at the end of the deal, can't get it done, unfortunately. And do not forget about Nick Simpson, again, another champion here today. He's your Contender Series playoff champion by beating the other Contender Series driver. So awesome job by him. Some respect being shown there by Charlie Birch. Love to see it. Championship burnouts being held here at Auto Club. Great job by these guys here today. Frankie, I mean, man, hell of a race today. And it was close. Green flag racing the entire way, no cautions for incidents. And Nick Lights gets it done, man. What do you make of this?
Yeah, it all came. The race was won with about, I would say, 10 laps to go when Nick Lights was able to get by Mark Whitley, got the clean air. You know, we saw it on the stream. They were battling really hard, and you could tell it was super important because that looked like at the time whoever came out on top at that point was going to win the championship. And Nick Lights, I'll tell you what, Nick Lights is the only guy in the history of everything, I would say, to win
Yes.
the Harpoon Design Truck Series. And he's the only one, since he's a two-time, and he won last season.
That's right.
And he won this season. So Nick Lights is gonna walk around proudly saying he's the only ever guy to win in the Truck Series in ASRA. He's the only ever guy to win the championship.
Great to see again Joseph Mealy, his teammate, finishing in P2, and then Mark Whitley, really hard fought season. I mean, did so good. Definitely, arguably, I would say the best driver of the season. But by wins, again, stat-wise and whatnot, definitely battled Nick Lights and Joseph Mealy all season long, but great job for them. We're going to talk to all three drivers for sure, as long as they're available. And again, rounding out the field, Trevor Zelazny in P4, great job by him. Again, we saw him a lot earlier in the season, and a good solid P4 position, finish there. Nick Biddy, 5th place. We saw him out front a lot. Great job there. Jonathan Wright, again, P6. Couldn't quite get it done today, unfortunately. But is what it is, and unfortunate there. But yeah. Great job right there. Clinton Woodby in P8. Anthony Williams, P7. Nick Simpson, again, that your Contender Series playoff driver champion, excuse me, P9. And Charlie Birch, Melvin Young, again, great season, but couldn't quite get it done. Josh Larson, 13th. Michael Lanphier in 14th. Recovered pretty well, actually, from 4 laps down at one point, but was Lucky Dog contender at one point, but couldn't quite get it done. So overall, fantastic race, fantastic season. And again, Nick Lights is going to be your champion today at Auto Club. Great job by these boys. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll come back. Our good buddy Frankie's going to be rounding up the top 4, and we'll be right back. We're going to talk to him. All right, and rounding out the top 3 is going to be Mark Whitley. Let's see if he has a time or just a second here to talk. Let's bring him on in here. Hey, Mark Whitley, Steve here in the booth. You got me, man?
Yep.
Hey, dude. Hey, honestly, hard fought race for you today. Obviously, fuel was a huge part of the race, and just a lot going on there. Explain to us how the race went, how your season went. Unfortunately, came out of this thing third, but just how you feeling, man?
Yeah, race. It was just kind of experiment and see how far we could go on gas. First run, I decided to just go ahead and pit early and just make sure we made it to the end of the stage. Second stage, I tried something different just to see if we could make it. We made it to the stage, but we weren't going to be able to make it another time around the track, so just pitted early and had to start at the back. Thankfully, we didn't have that many cars here. And then third run, we just kind of got back to the front and tried to save tires a little bit. And feel like at the end of that run, before we had to pit, we were pretty fast, probably faster than the other guys that were in the championship floor. But decided to try to split it in half. So that way we could, get maybe an undercut. And I think all three of us decided pretty much to come. Because I think Doe Ford stayed out. He was the only one that didn't. So got out of pits pretty good. And then I was just trying to do a mixture of, run hard enough to keep him behind me. Then I didn't want to overdo my stuff, so let him go. And then Neely caught us, so I was just trying to manage the tires, manage the laps left, and it was just, I thought I did it pretty good, and we were able to get back by Mealy pretty easily. But then after that, I don't know what the hell those 2 lap cars are doing. They're a bunch of fucking idiots. But pretty much had to dive down, almost do a slide job, clear one of them. The other one was just pushing lights. I mean, I had no chance. I mean, he wants to hold a fucking grudge and be an idiot. I mean, that's on him, but whatever. So, I mean, end of the race was pretty much ruined by lap cars, but, can't really, I mean, it's this type of stupid track and format, so can't really complain too much.
Well, yes, sir. But hey, at the end of the day, great season. Obviously, stat leader in almost everything. So great job there for sure. Hey, man, third place, obviously not what you wanted, but love to have you. And hey, congrats again on the P3.
Thanks.
All right. I mean, hey, listen, Mark Whitley, not happy. Can't blame him. Obviously, great season, and hey, ran a really good race. Had a, as far as like incidents or just speeding penalties or whatnot, had the perfect race, just couldn't quite get it done. But let's bring in Joseph Minley, P2 for the day. Hey, Joseph Minley, it's Steve here in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, dude. Well, hey, obviously not what you wanted. I understand. Second place again for back-to-back seasons. But hey, cannot, be mad, I guess, about your season. Great job. Multiple wins. P2 to your teammate. Really great showing today, actually. Led some laps. I mean, just talk to us about your season and how it went.
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. I was last weekend we were looking at the stats, and I think I've had a top 5 in almost every race this season.
Yeah.
I've right up front. I've had a blast, and there is nothing to be disappointed about. I mean, I was at the end of that one with a chance at a championship, and I'm not 1-2. How can I be mad about that? It's great. I'm pumped. It's dope. It's a great night.
Yes, sir. Good move there for sure. I mean, again, really, really good season. It's been awesome to have you, obviously. I mean, hey, still have, Thursday the Cup Series to worry about in 2 days, but obviously a great season for you. And obviously, it's unfortunate that this Truck Series is going away because, obviously it's been a great time for you guys and for me and numerous reasons. But hey, at the end of this thing, you've obviously proven that you've definitely belong, and it's been great to have you. So if you have any shout outs, give them out. And yeah, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first off, how great was that race?
Yeah,
that was probably the best race of the season, and we had all 4 up there going for it at one point. That was awesome. Everybody who's watched, my family, my grandparents, my mom, Nick Lights, great champion, great dude, great friend, great teammate. Whitley, everybody. You guys putting on this great season. It's really been a lot of fun, and I'm sad the trucks won't be a part of this, but man, Nick Lights Racing's back-to-back champions, the only champions of this series.
right.
Let's go. 2 seasons in a row. It's awesome.
Love to see it, man. Well, hey, great job again. Congrats on the P2. I think. Congrats, great run.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
Hey, man, we'll let you go celebrate, go. I don't know, man. Either way, we'll see you Thursday for the Cup Series back here at Auto Club. It was a good time, man. We'll see you next time.
Sounds good. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, man.
All right, Joseph Mealy. Great season, but now we're going to bring in your champion of the Harpoon Design Truck Series Season 2, your second back-to-back champion, Nick Lights. Woo, man, how you feeling today, dude?
That was crazy. That race was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a blast.
I mean, how'd you do it? Because, I mean, obviously, fuel was a big part of it. We saw you, really low on fuel at the beginning of this thing, stage 1. Stage 2, at the end of that, you and Mark were, holding off on the fuel quite a bit, really, really saving. I mean, stage 3, it seemed like the Band-Aid was ripped off and everybody just kind of sent it. So how'd you do it? How'd you get this win?
Man, just staying up front most of the time we could, and I know we had to save there and fall to the back, but yeah, just staying out front. I think I led the most laps, had the fastest lap and stuff, so just being on top of it all day today and just capitalizing it in the end. I know we were racing some lap cars at the end pretty hard,
Yeah.
but I can get like that sometimes, and I know Biddy did a great job as well, and shout out to the 46 for winning that series he's in too. So
Yeah.
it was a great day all day.
Love that, man. Well, hey, I mean, obviously, I was just talking to Joseph and Mark, but it's unfortunate the Truck Series is going away. Some changes, obviously, to the league, but also, just in general. So, unfortunate for that. But hey, you get to walk away with back-to-back champion. Pretty sweet. A lot of wins. And hey, by the way, this puts you with 14 wins in the league overall, which means you're the most, you're the league winner for most wins. Pretty cool stat, just by the way, between all the leagues. So definitely dominant performance. Obviously today, last season, this season, going to be really cool. And again, hey, listen, this is Tuesday. This is the Harpoon Design Truck Series, back-to-back champion. Guess what Thursday is? You get to go for another champion in the Cup Series. What is that like? Man, like, what would that mean? Could this be your week?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, to even be a part of it's something special. I know this is the last time we'll be in the trucks, which was cool to go back to back and Nick Lights Racing with me and Joe. So excited for that. And yeah, going for a Cup championship would be pretty stellar. We've been on some good momentum recently. I think we win the last race. Race to get into the Final Four.
Yeah, you had to win at Phoenix, and you did.
So the last 2 races we're in victory lane. So let's make it a third, 3 for 3, and get this championship.
Love that, man.
I'm ready for it.
Yes, sir. Now here's the thing too. Now these trucks, can you take anything from this race and bring it to Thursday, or is the car just so different that it doesn't really matter?
Yeah, the car's just so much different. I'm definitely not a fan of them. I will tell you that firsthand, that they drive way different than anything else I've driven before. That's why I've struggled last season, was just getting the grip on it and learning the car and stuff. But we've been clicking it off this season, got 3 wins, and we're in.
Yes, sir.
I don't think I can take anything from today, but we'll try to carry that momentum we did today into Thursday.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, Nick Lights, your Season 2 champion, back-to-back champion here in the Harpoon Design Truck Series, man. Hey, we'll see you Thursday. Try to pull it off then. Gonna be a good time. Congrats again on the new championship. Give us your shout-outs, and a lot of fans in the chat here.
Yeah, shout out to everybody watching. Appreciate you guys. You guys for putting the stream and doing this. The league, it's been a lot of fun these last, I guess, year. Been a part of the truck series and stuff. We've had some rough times, but we've grown past that and been better for it. But yeah, I mean, everybody who's been a part of it this season and the last season as well, it's been a lot of fun, and excited for Thursday as well.
Love to hear, man. Well, hey, we'll let you go. Congrats again. We'll see you on Thursday.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
All right, that's your champion, Nick Lights. Back-to-back champion here in the Harpoon Design Truck Series for the ASRA. Amazing job. We'll bring in one more driver, our Contender Series champion, Nick Simpson. Nick Simpson, Steve here in the booth. You got me, man?
Oh, I got you loud and clear.
Hey, dude. Obviously, it's not the the playoff championship, but it is a contender championship. You were, for all intents and purposes, the best of the rest. How do you feel? Obviously, it's a little fun playoff format, but you did it well and you dominated against the other guys. It's a good run. What do you say?
Yeah, old Yeller got it done today for the Elk contender bracket. And, congrats to those guys in the top 3, the championship. It's a lot harder than it looks, so respect their grind. They show respect to us down there, getting going, learning a lot about the whole league series and stuff like that. It's a tough run out there.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, again, it might not be a huge prize pony, but you definitely brought it home today. Great job today for sure. Again, give us your shout outs, man. I see Sand Tiger tattoos on the hood. What else you got?
Oh yeah, I'd like to thank all the people from the 46 race team, all my fans that show up for the live stream. I know they're active in the comments. You guys get a kick out of that. Andy Sauer and all the 7th Group Special Forces out there. Thanks for their service and their attention to my racing. It's pretty fun. All my boys out in Wellington, Connecticut. Mom, Dad, fiance Fabiola, Sand Tiger Tattoos, hell of a sponsor. Go down there and get your next tattoo in Longwood, Florida. Backwood Cigars, Command Aerospace, they're all big supporters. And we'll be back next season for the Cup Series and see what we can do up there.
Yes, sir. Definitely a well-earned promotion for sure. Fantastic driver, man. Great job on this championship. And hey, we'll see you next season. Been a great time with you, man. We'll catch you next time.
Yeah, thanks, Steve and Frankie. Did a hell of a job this year, and we'll see you next year.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, well, that's Nick Simpson, your Contender Series playoff champion. Man, Frankie, we'll bring you back in here real quick if we can. Just an unbelievable job by a lot of these guys. It's such a good time to see, just a good season. We've had so much going on, and for all of it to kind of end the way it did, it's just incredible, man. We see fireworks in the background here at Auto Club under the lights. It's just so cool. Big win for Nick Lights, obviously, as back-to-back champion here in the Harpoon Design Truck Series. You can't really script it any better. I mean, if you're Nick Lights, right? If you're, Mark Whitley, heartbreaking, considering the season you've had and how good you've been with the wins and the, just overall season stats and whatnot. But this format is unique. It's one of those things where, it's modern, it's current, is it a fan favorite? Maybe, but it does one thing. It produces exciting racing. And today was one of those days. And overall, a great job. Big shout out to the drivers who were a part of this season here in the Harpoon Design Truck Series and a part of the ASRA. Just really good job. I mean, again, as any league, we've had ups and downs. But overall, these drivers make this possible. I've always been one to say that. Without the drivers here who are within this league, we wouldn't be a league. We would just be nothing. We'd be driving around with AI drivers in the sim. So really appreciate everybody who turns out every day, the chat. Big thanks to you guys for all the likes, subscribes, the follows, the retweets, everything you guys do. Really appreciate that. But yeah, just to touch on one thing, the truck series, as I mentioned it in the race, the Harpoon Design Truck Series is going away, unfortunately. So today, this was the last race for this truck series. A lot of personal changes for me as the league owner of the ASRA, as well as just things like that. Really good things. A lot of good things going on. So it's nothing bad, like no bad reasons, just really good stuff. But sometimes, real life takes precedence, and this is one of those scenarios. So a lot of cool things going on there. But hey, the truck series is going away, but on Tuesday nights, the Wheels America Cup Series will be coming to Tuesdays. So in this time slot will be the Wheels America Cup Series. Will be an amazing time. We still have that championship to decide this Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time here on the channel. But going to be a great time. We'll move that Cup Series to Tuesdays. A lot of changes coming in. A lot going to be changing for the Cup Series. And we're kind of... I like to talk to, for all the gamers out there, you start off with some like RPG game. You beat it, and then you get to start like a whole new game plus, where basically it's the same game, it's just much harder. That's kind of what we're doing with the Cup Series. We're kind of refreshing it, taking the 4 seasons that we've already have under our belts, and then this 2 seasons of trucks, and then we're just making it better. We're kind of just restarting, sort of, but with a whole new palette of information and ideas and strategies and things like that. It's going to be off the chain for sure. I think the kids still say that. I don't know. I might be a boomer, but it's going to be a lot of good times. And the last announcement that we'll touch on big time on Thursday, this channel, the Wheels America Racing Network, is changing. It's rebranding and becoming Race Day Live. So you'll see the branding above the channel banner on the YouTube. You'll see our new logo and things like that. It's going to be kind of the same thing. Right now, this Wheels America Racing Network has been kind of the house streaming platform for the ASRA, but right now we're changing some things, changing our vision just a bit, kind of revitalizing ourselves throughout the summertime. Going to be doing some more modern stuff, some cooler things within streaming platforms, and gonna simultaneously stream on Twitch, and different graphics and different visuals. We're gonna kind of reinvent ourselves and really put on a good show. And we might be taking out some new leagues. So if you have a league out there on a weekday that isn't a Tuesday, because we'll be busy on that day for the Cup Series, reach out to us. Jump into the Discord. We'll talk to you, and we could be bringing in new leagues. We're going to kind of branch out to different leagues and kind of become a true racing broadcast network. So going to be a lot of fun there. Frankie will bring you in one more time. But yeah, a lot of changes going on after this season and after the Cup Series race on Thursday, but all good things, really good things. Cup Series is going to be just really, really cool. Definitely going to be contending with some of the bigger ones out there on the service. And this channel right here, I mean, first of all, thank you to you for being with me this entire season. Been a really, really fun time to call the races with you. And I'll tell you what, trucks might not be coming back next season, but the Cup is going to be ludicrous. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, I've had an absolute blast I've had an absolute blast in calling the races with you. It's been a lot of fun, and like I got into it a little bit last season with you when you needed me, and
Yeah.
and man, I've just loved it ever since. I'm really sad it's going, the truck series is going away, and whatnot. But I tell you what, I can't wait for next season and what's upon us for this league. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be broadcasting at least anytime soon. But I had my fun, and it was a lot of fun. And
yes, sir. It's a good resume builder for when you are completely washed up from driving, which I mean might be soon. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
All jokes here, but hey, congrats again to Nick's Lights for the championship again, back to back. We're off for the night. We're gonna go hang out, and listen, be back here for Thursday for the Wheels America Cup Series. It's gonna be, if you thought tonight was fun, I'll tell you what, Thursday is gonna be crazy, because those cars, man, on this track usually produces an incredible race. And for us within the league, it's actually been one of our better races typically every season. So that's why we put it as the finale. Should be a lot of fun. But for us here for the Wheels America Racing Network, we're out. Thank you guys so much for the subscriptions, for the likes, for the retweets. Go and check out our Twitter, in the league Twitter, ASRA iRacing on Twitter. We'll have a lot of updates there for the broadcast and for the league itself. And June 1st is when we'll be switching over all the rebranding and whatnot for the broadcast. And then June 1st will also be the day where we unleash the recruitment and information publicly to the league for the Cup Series on Tuesday. So going to be a lot of fun, a lot of cool things coming up. And if we don't talk to you then, have a great Memorial Day weekend. We will see you back on Thursday, if not. And going to be a good time. But for now, it's Frankie and Steve signing off. Have a good night. Thanks again so much. We love you guys. Peace out.